When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.
Welcome to the water cooler, everybody. I'm David Brody. It's Thursday, October 29, 2020, and President Trump's closing argument is now crystal clear. The economic recovery from COVID is in full swing. It's looking like that V shape that he's been talking about for a while now. New numbers out today show the largest economic growth on record ever for one quarter. Sales, like this guy in the cartoon, are up, and America has now regained 2/3 of the economic output lost because of COVID-19. Meanwhile, all political eyes on Florida today as the Trump train steamrolls into the Sunshine State. Joe Biden there too. Trump must have Florida have a second chance at a second term. And speaking of a second term, will Evangelical show up for Trump in record numbers? He's going to need even more of them this time around. We're going to unpack the data. But first, our newsmaker. It's not my liberal mother. Sorry, she turned down my request for an interview. Instead, we have the next best thing, Rudy Giuliani, with us. Mr. Mayor, welcome back to the show.
Oh, well, nice to talk to you.
Well, Rudy, look, the last time we talked, you did mention some internal polling. You had confidence about the president's chances. What can you tell us now? What is your sense just a few days before the big day?
Well, I never like to be too confident, but I am. And I believe that he's in considerably better shape than he was in 2016. I think Biden is in worse shape than Hillary was, largely because of the last week and a half where he disappeared. I mean, we can't have a president who disappears when there's pressure. And even though there's been a massive censorship on this story about the hard drive that proves that the Biden family is a criminal family, a censorship I've never seen before, the story's getting through. And I think it's worse for the fact that it's being censored. I think they realize that big tech, the big networks, basically have a pact with the Democrat Party to elect Biden, no matter how crooked he is, and no matter how mentally impaired he is.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely seems that way, Rudy. Let me bring up this anonymous guy, Miles Taylor, that we're now hearing about, which I thought was kind of interesting because he went on CNN a couple months before this and said he wasn't anonymous. And now all of a sudden he's saying he is the anonymous guy. I want to play you Donald Trump talking about him. Here he is.
To show you how corrupt the Washington media is, I was just, and did you see this? This was just revealed. It was just revealed that, Anonymous, this Anonymous that everybody's been looking for, that law enforcement could have found early if they wanted to, but everybody was looking for Anonymous. Turned out to be a low-level staffer, a sleazebag, who's never worked in the White House. Anonymous was a nobody, a disgruntled employee who was quickly removed from his job a long time ago for, they tell me, incompetence. I don't know what for, but they tell me incompetence. You know where he works now? He works at CNN. Can you believe it? Works at CNN.
Rudy, your reaction to Anonymous here.
Well, they hire liars. So, they might as well have another one. It's unbelievable. CNN is they're corrupt. They're not even a news organization. They're totally corrupt. Zucker has them like a hit organization. The guy lied completely. He was misrepresented as a high level. You could look at this guy and know he's not a high level administration official. If they had written that thing and said a middle or low level staffer, it would have meant nothing. It'd have been a disgruntled Obama hangover, which is what it was. And, anybody who thinks that Obama did anything on foreign policy is just ignorant. All he did was give billions to Iran and put us and lose more American lives than he should have. President Trump has, on the other hand, made 3 peace agreements, reduced dramatically the number of American lives we're losing that we did under Obama. kind of put North Korea, at least on a non-war foot setting, which is where Obama had it, pushed back in Syria after 12 times when Assad was told if you use chemical weapons, it'll be a red line. Well, it wasn't a red line. It was a cowardly line that Obama said. First time he did it to Trump, Trump hit him back and he hasn't done it again. I mean, there's such a difference in world relations. And now the economy? I mean, you think Joe Biden could do this for the economy? He can't count. He can't get numbers straight. He was in the Senate for 186 years. and his wife looks at him like it's a serious comment. Then the other day he was running against George.
Yeah, he's running against George Trump. Yeah, he's running George Trump.
Yeah, he's running against, and the wife sits there like he must do this all the time at home.
Yeah,
she doesn't even bat an eyelash. I mean, if I did that, my friend would like say, "Hey, Rudy, it's oh gosh, yeah, it's Trump." They're just so used to the fact that he has dementia, they just flow right with it.
Hey, Rudy, let me ask you about the city you love, New York City, and Bill de Blasio. We've talked about him before, but I saw some video the other day, and we've seen this before. The Jews for Trump out there in Brooklyn, they love him. I tell you, those Orthodox Jews, they're upset at de Blasio, and they're just like, you know what, Trump, bring it on. We're a big fan of yours. Talk to me about what de Blasio is doing to the Orthodox Jewish community in New York.
It's a funny thing. In the last 3 years, he's displayed really signs of strong anti-Semitism. During his first period we had with him, he denied that there was COVID. And when they say that the president was late, he didn't recognize it for a month and a half after the president. Nor did Cuomo, by the way. I mean, the president was the first one. If he was late, he was still the first one to get it. So to get the idea that we had to do something about it. If Biden had been president, we would have lost 2 million more people. So one day he was in Brooklyn. It was a funeral. It was a Hasidic funeral. People may have been a little bit too close together, but he had like a hissy fit. He's going to have them all arrested. All arrested.
Yeah.
It was a religious celebration. I don't know. Maybe he never read the First Amendment, free exercise of religion. The very next day in the morning, he's at a gathering with 200, 300 union supporters of his. They have no masks on. He and his wife have no masks on, and they're right in the middle of it, smiling. So I wrote a letter, and I said, well, maybe he thinks only Hasidic people spread COVID. I mean, the guy is, well, he's the worst mayor in the history of the city. I can't get a Democrat to defend him. I have a radio show, and I invite people on to defend him. I even tell them, I'll give you 2 minutes. I won't say anything. Nobody's come on. Nobody. Not even his relatives.
No, I know a lot of liberals in New York, and they all say the same thing. They can't stand him, and these are liberal friends of mine that are just like, you got to be kidding me. All right, so let me ask you about back to the election real quick. So what happens? Imagine this scenario, Rudy. So let's say Trump wins. And what happens at that point with Democrats in these cities? Are they going to have a meltdown as it relates to from a security standpoint? There are a lot of people concerned about the mayhem that may transpire if Trump actually does win a second term. There are going to be a lot of people angry and possibly violent.
They won't be violent. If Trump wins, they will not be violent because they realize he's here for 4 years, that he's not going to let them get too far with it. And the reality is, I guarantee you, he'll keep the country safe. Don't worry about it. So plus, there are a bunch of bullies anyway, and just a little bit of enforcement. I mean, look, the Democrat governors and mayors don't allow arrests to be made. This isn't happening in Republican cities. This kind of Sure, there's crime in Republican cities. There's more crime in Democratic cities, but there's crime. But there aren't these kinds of riots like what we're seeing in Philadelphia. The police are observing them wiping out stores.
Yeah,
that's the order of the left-wing Democratic mayor and the Soros-produced district attorney. Because many of these district attorneys are non-law enforcement radicals who were elected on the millions and millions of dollars that George Soros put into district attorneys' races in the last 2 cycles, at least 40 million. So what is that guy doing putting money into DA's races and electing DAs who turn back 50 or 60% of the cases that are brought to them by the police? It's in order to create anarchy and chaos so that we destroy our form of government, which is what the Democrats are no longer the old Democrat Party. I mean, they've been taken over by a group of radicals. That's one group. And then a group of Obama, Clinton, Biden crooks who are in politics for money.
Yeah, so
combination of the two things, it's a rotten party at the head. The rest of the Democratic Party is wonderful. They're no better or worse than the Republicans. But they got to cut the head off. I think it's been rotting since Clinton because of immorality and crime and greed and then you make bargains with the devil like Soros.
Rudy, I got less than a minute left, so I just want to understand. So you think that Trump should be calling in federal troops if things get out of hand? Because you don't think he's going to have to?
You believe me, when he's there and he's there for 4 years and he tells them keep the peace, they're going to jump through hoops. This has all been done to try to create chaos so that he'd be defeated. I mean, COVID's going to be over from the point of view of frightening the living daylights out of people the day after the election. Believe me, COVID is bad, but it isn't the disease that it was 5 months ago. People are dying, much less a rate. It's a death rate similar to other diseases.
Yeah.
So they concentrate on the number of people getting it as if it was like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And about 80% less die now from it. We basically can cure it now, even before we have a vaccine.
Rudy?
But the Democrats lie to the American people to create a bad atmosphere.
Rudy, always a pleasure to talk to you. I could talk to you all day. Thank you so much for your time. All right. Thanks, Rudy. All right, when we come back, Ralph Reed, a lot of knowledge when it comes to evangelicals and Trump. They're key for him again in 2020. Can Trump deliver, or can evangelicals deliver for him? Back in a moment.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus it's PFOA free and 100% dishwasher safe. Call or go online to get your Granite Stone pan for the special TV discount price of just $19.99. Granite Stone is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. It's the perfect size for personalized eggs, omelets, or frittatas that slide right out. It makes the best bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich quick. Yours absolutely free. We'll even ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. You get it all, an incredible value. Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-850-0237. That's 1-800-850-0237, or order online at buygranitestone.com. That's 1-800-850-0237. Call now.
Feel like you live a lot of your life online? The average person is connected almost 7 hours a day. And all that shopping, banking, browsing, and sharing can mean exposing your personal information. In fact, 64% of adults admit to risking online privacy for convenience. Is it any wonder that 26% of people had malware on one of their devices? Or that there's a victim of identity theft every 3 seconds? Your digital life may be in lots of places, But there's one place to help keep it safe. Norton 360 with LifeLock. With security to help block hackers from your devices, a VPN to help keep your online activity private, and LifeLock identity theft protection. Now, you can get up to 25% off your first year of Norton 360 with LifeLock with promo code TV offer. Call to start your membership or visit lifelock.com/TV offer.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. All right, evangelicals and Trump. We know how important evangelicals are to the re-election, potentially, of Donald Trump. Will they show up, and how much so in 2020? Joining us now, Ralph Reed, the CEO of the Faith and Freedom Coalition. He's also author of the book For God and Country, The Christian Case for Trump. Ralph, thanks for being here again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, David. Good to be with you.
Well, just a few days out, what's the lay of the land? What's your sense? What's your evangelical spidey sense feeling right now?
Well, David, we're tracking the evangelical vote on a daily basis. We're looking at the early vote and the absentee ballot vote in every state where that's a relevant indicator. All I can tell you, obviously, we don't like to print our playbook in the newspaper or broadcast it on television. But what I can tell you is that our turnout of conservative voters of faith, including self-identified born-again evangelicals, is running ahead of where it was in 2016 in every single battleground state that we're tracking. Is some by a lot, some by a little, but we're well ahead of where we were 4 years ago. Obviously, the early vote is up overall in some of these states, significantly so. So, we're not doing any kind of a premature victory dance. Frankly, we're not paying any attention to polling at this point, if we ever did. The election's underway. It's happening right now. We have X million evangelical voters who have not voted yet. We know who they are. We know where they live. We have their phone numbers. We're pushing out digital ads. We're sending peer-to-peer text messages to their cell phones. And as we speak, there are about 2,500 paid staff and full-time volunteers that are knocking on their doors.
So, Ralph, you say you're not really paying attention much to the polls. What are you paying attention to? What are some of the key barometers that you're looking for? I know we've talked in the past about raw voter turnout as opposed to percentage of turnout. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, we have a data set in every battleground state. We have a certain number of Christian voters that we're chasing and getting to the polls. Mm-hmm. That number varies from 4 million in Florida to about 1.6 million in Georgia to about 1.9 million in North Carolina. There's 46 million nationally in all 50 states. There's 26.2 million in the battleground states. So right now, what we're doing is we're just chasing those voters. And as I said, it's a combination at this point of digital, text message, and door knocks. And we've got more doors being knocked at between now and Election Day. More doors will be knocked on by Faith and Freedom staff and volunteers than in the entire 2016 election cycle.
So, Ralph, I do get the sense that the energy, the enthusiasm is up even more among evangelicals than 2016. And I do notice that today, for example, the Christian Post out with dueling editorials. I want to read you a headline, at least from one of them. This is Mike Pence writing this editorial in the Christian Post saying President Trump is the best choice for Americans of faith. And then Joe Biden also writing an op-ed today. This is what Joe Biden says: the greatest commandment has guided my politics. And I guess I want to ask you a little bit about, we're seeing more outreach by the Biden campaign than we ever did from Hillary Clinton's campaign. Are you concerned that that could be a potential factor here? No, I'm not concerned at all. You're talking about a candidate in Joe Biden, sadly, I think it's sad, who for 42 years, as a member of the U.S. Senate, as a chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and as Vice President of the United States, always supported the Hyde Amendment, which prohibits the use of taxpayer funding to take
the lives of unborn babies. Mm-hmm. He always opposed taxpayer-funded abortion. The Hyde Amendment has been a bipartisan consensus in this country for over 40 years. He always supported it. Within a matter of days of getting into this race, he's flip-flopped. He now favors abortion on demand for any reason or no reason at all, including after the child can survive outside the womb, including up to the moment of birth. And he wants to pay for it with our tax dollars. And on top of that, he wants funding, taxpayer funding of abortion, including in a government-run entitlement program that would be Medicare for all or a public option under Obamacare. That's an assault on the conscience and the faith of tens of millions of Americans. And I don't question Joe Biden's faith. I don't question his commitment to his church. But I can tell you this right now, David, that is the most radical position that has ever been taken by a presidential candidate in our lifetimes. And nobody who gets endorsed by Planned Parenthood and favors taxpayer-funded abortion, including a late-term abortion, and wants to include it under expanded government-run health care, is going to win much of the faith vote, period.
Yeah, and definitely could come back to haunt him for sure. Let me ask you this, Ralph, as we kind of wrap up. The lay of land from a state standpoint, I mean, look, as my family is having dinner or playing board games, I'm sitting there trying to figure out a 270 electoral map. I've got nothing better to do. And I'm trying to figure out how Trump wins. And I got to tell you, I don't see any scenario where he can win if he doesn't win Florida, right? I mean, he's got to have Florida. I mean, I guess there's a way to do it, but Florida, North Carolina. Well,
there would be a way. It would be a narrow path. But if he were to lose Florida and he were to carry Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, Arizona, and then Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, he doesn't even need Florida. But look, I think I was reasonably confident 4 years ago that Donald Trump would carry Florida. I think he's going to carry it again. And I think Pennsylvania is an interesting case for two reasons. Number one, by calling for the banning of fossil fuels and saying he's going to phase out fracking. That's 400,000 jobs in Pennsylvania. And finally, his refusal to be honest with the American people about his secret plan to pack the courts. Not just the Supreme Court, but the appellate courts and the district courts. He sold his soul to the radical left and the pro-abortion wing of the Democratic Party. And, you know, there's that old James Carville line, David. You remember Carville said he won a few elections in Pennsylvania. He said Pennsylvania is Pittsburgh and Philadelphia with Alabama in the middle. And you watch those votes in the heartland of Pennsylvania. Watch what happened.
Well, Ralph, I couldn't agree with you and James Carville more. So thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, Ralph.
You bet. Good to be with you.
All right. When we come back, a lot more to discuss about the election, including the pro-life vote. How will they go, and will Donald Trump be able to count on them? Back in a moment.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's Ultra Soft Outer Layer is a patented temperature-regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. All right, look, if Donald Trump were here, he would say, and he'd kind of do it like this: I am the most pro-life president ever in the history of America. And you know what? Let's be honest. He'd kind of be true. I mean, you don't have to do any fake news on that. Let's talk more about it, especially with this upcoming election. Marjorie Dannenfelser is president of the Susan B. Anthony List and author of the book, Life is Winning: Inside the Fight for the Unborn. Marjorie, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
David, you're a great mimic of the president. I think he'd say exactly like that. It's great to be here.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's a big league imitation. What do you want? I don't know. It's a little too New York, I think. But hey, Marjorie, talk to me about I mean, you guys have been really at it on the ground. Talk to me about the ground game when it comes to the pro-life effort here.
Well, the pro-life effort has the biggest ground game out there. It really is. And it's the longest standing and most thoroughgoing. We've been in the field over a year now, since August of 2019. And we're working with, and when I say working with, I mean communicating with in all sorts of forms, in person, online, digitally, in text, and personal communications, door to door, since that time, August 2019, with 8 million voters. That, in the end, we're actually now, that's the stable of voters. And these voters are persuadables, politicos call it. Just means basically they're not 100% sure. They're Republicans, they're Democrats, they're independents in Senate and presidential battleground states, which will decide whether we retain this incredible victory that we have on the Supreme Court or not. And whether this really incredible moment, David, that I know you've been watching this for years, where we are on the verge of overturning Roe versus Wade, allowing states to allow their own voices to enact laws that reflect the wills of the people, either going to happen or not, pretty much based on what happens next week.
Yeah, I want to get back to you on the Roe v. Wade question and the Supreme Court and Amy Coney Barrett in a moment. But let me ask you about the ground game. So what certain states, I mean, you're everywhere, I get that. But where are there key states that you're really looking to break through and make sure you have to make a difference in those specific states? Is there kind of a hierarchy of some states here that you're looking at?
Yeah, the miracle of the founding and these tools of democracy is really only a handful of states and a handful of people in those handful of states that will determine the outcome of the election by and large. So we'll look at Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Montana, Iowa, and South Carolina. Now, all of those are not presidential battlegrounds. Some of them are Senate battlegrounds, but the combination of them really will determine the policy in the future when it comes to abortion policy in this nation. So it's really high impact stuff.
Marjorie, you mentioned Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, those three key Rust Belts we keep hearing so much about. Now, the president has got to at least win one of them, maybe Pennsylvania, but either way, he's got to win one of them. What is your sense within those three? What's the heavy lift, or what's the pitch exactly as to how you kind of break through there?
Pennsylvania, most people are glum about it, but we're the most hopeful. Pennsylvania has got all the dynamics that a Rust Belt, old style Governor Casey, Senator Casey state would have, meaning it's got deep roots of pro-life in that state. And it's been neglected for a while, I think, in national politics in this regard, because it's so expensive. We've really doubled down there. And I think that, and we hear back from those doors, those conversations every single day. Our people are really having the voter conversations. The polls sometimes reflect that and sometimes don't. Our sense is that Pennsylvania is the closest of all of those places. Wisconsin and Michigan, certainly close. And I think Michigan is the same when it comes to the deep pro-life roots. I think that, and we also hear a lot of good things back from the doors there. I think the Catholic Evangelical and basically that Catholic and Evangelical and just plain old pro-life vote there will be decisive in all of those places. I just think that it's really easy for all these wars to be, not ground wars, not person to person, but air wars, where no one really knows what's happening until the vote that happens on the day. The most important poll is on the election day. That's where we're so close.
No, you're absolutely right. Not to geek out or anything, but in Michigan, Macomb County, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be watching Macomb County, obviously, because that's where a lot of those Reagan Democrats are. You've got an influence, or I say an influence, but you've got a ground game, I assume, in Macomb County.
Yeah, we do. And we have in all the places, the way we find our voters is really kind of a sophisticated system, but we figure out where we need to be going door to door, who we need to be communicating with. And those what we have found is that the Supreme Court, and now Supreme Court packing, the born alive vote, whether you help a baby that's been born alive intended for abortion or not, and the 20-week, 5-month pain capable bill. We poll over and over and over, and we find those three issues move those swing voters in that persuadable universe. And the president, I actually talked to the president as he was going in the debate last week, and he knows this, and he understands this. And it's turned out that he has really made the difference in doing the right thing is also the politically smart thing to do, and he's really proved that.
Yeah, Marjorie, I was going to ask you about the Supreme Court and the packing of the Supreme Court. Are you pretty much convinced if Joe Biden becomes president, or as Kamala Harris says, the Harris-Biden administration, but whatever the case may be, that administration will pack the courts? Are you pretty much convinced that they're going to go for retribution?
100% convinced. If there was an iota of doubt, it would have been laid to rest, because this is not helping them. They don't want to be called hypocrites when they go ahead and do it. They won't be hypocrites. They will go ahead and do it. If they get the Senate, they get the presidency, they change the filibuster rule, they decide how many, they can even add senators to the U.S. Senate if they decide they would like to. They may do that. But the most profound and high impact thing they do would be the change of the very nature of how our government works, to make the Supreme Court basically another legislative body, that if you don't like the result over there, we just increase the numbers to try to, quote, balance it out. In other words, we've been playing by these rules, the rules of the founders, for all of these years. And that's why we've had three, new Supreme Court justices that are trying to purge the court of being legislators. So there's no question in my mind that they will do that.
Last 30 seconds or so, Marjorie, Amy Coney Barrett, what do you expect from her as it relates to Roe v. Wade and what may be coming?
Look, I know that she's pro-life. That doesn't mean that I know how she'll rule. I think we have been working on quite a number of cases along with legislators and people in the pro-life movement to get the decision up there. I think now we have a much better chance than we've ever had at eroding or overturning Roe and restoring states' ability to pass life-saving laws that they think are important.
Marjorie Dannensfelser, always great to catch up with you. Good luck next week on the campaign trail.
I look forward to talking to you then.
Thanks. All right, Marjorie, always a shining light out there. Really, I tell you what, she's got a great story. Used to be a Democrat and then kind of saw the pro-life light, if you will. Fascinating. We'll have to have her back sometime soon. All right, coming up, we've talked about Jews and evangelicals. Next, the Muslims, or as Trump would say, the Muslims. Back in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets. Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleeping.
Unique formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate. Text BUFF to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. That's BUFF to 42424.
Welcome back, everybody, to the water cooler. Well, boy, on this show, what have we talked about so far? We talked about evangelicals. We talked about the Jews. Hey, how about the Muslims? Why the heck not? That's all 3 religions, right? I'm joined now by Dr. Mike Gauss. He's a speaker, author, founder and president of the Center for Pluralism. He's also author of the new book, American Muslim Agenda: Muslims Together, Building a Cohesive America. And look, he's actually here in studio. Dr. Gauss, thanks for being here.
Good to be here, David. I'm glad to be here, and I wish you all the best for the new show.
Well,
your show,
you.
And I think it's going to be very successful in the coming years, the way you are handling this.
Well, I appreciate that. It means a lot. Let me ask you about the Muslim community and Donald Trump. If you say those words, everybody goes, oh, all Muslims can't stand Donald Trump. They talk about the ban and Muslim countries. Tell me what your experience or what you believe is to be the case.
Well, the good news for Americans is Muslims have become a fully integrated part of the society. By that I mean, if you look at the statistics, they are comparable to all other communities. Mm-hmm. Well, for example, 30% of Muslims right now support Trump. And it is
30%.
30%. It is a surprise to many people, but shouldn't be. Because as we become Americans, we are going to be like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And compared to that, Black Americans are 16%, 24% Hispanic Americans, mm-hmm. and 44% Catholics. So Muslims are right there with all American communities.
Well, that's interesting because in 2016, at least according to Pew, he got about 8% of the Muslim support. Now, that was Pew reporting that, or actually it wasn't just Pew, but overall, that's what he got. So you're suggesting that he's going to have a lot more support this time, and if that's the case, why do you say that?
Well, most Muslims align with the conservative values, especially the birthright, and they align with the Republican Party. Somehow they were off. Most Muslims were Republicans before George Bush, and after what happened, they start moving out. Now they're coming back. They see Donald Trump as a holder of conservative values. They see he is not going to wars in the Middle East. That is bringing him a lot of support, and that is tremendous support for him. I was surprised myself with the 30%. We thought there will be lesser than that.
Yeah, I'm just curious. The 30% number is coming from, is that a certain poll that you're...
It's a international, it's a Muslim survey organization that has been doing survey for the last full decade, and they're doing very successful surveys, and that is from called ISPU survey.
What about this idea that, and it's really bothered me when everybody says Trump was for a Muslim ban or a ban of all Muslims. He was never for a ban of all Muslims. I don't even know. There were certain predominantly Muslim countries that he wanted to curtail some of the travel into the United States, but Obama did many of the same things when he was president.
Well, I think it's a communication, David. Yeah. Somehow Trump's people did not communicate well about the Muslim. He was very clear. He was against the radical Muslims, not Muslims. That should have been clarified. If that had been clarified, there would have been more Muslim support towards it. And Muslims have somehow believed that Trump is against Muslims. He is not against Muslims. He is against the radicals among Muslims. And that explains it.
Let's talk about Ilhan Omar a little bit. She's kind of been this not spokeswoman necessarily for the Muslim community at all, but being Muslim herself, and then of course being very radical and very liberal left. What is the view of someone like her within the Muslim community? Is there a split? Is there a shift?
There is a split. In fact, at the very first time when she spoke, I wrote, several Muslims called me and said, I don't like what she's doing. What she's doing is going to create difficulty for future Muslim candidates, the way she had taken it. And I wrote an article on it. It is there on my website. So Ilhan Omar is divided. Because she speaks boldly, there is an element in all human beings want to support, go with the flow or go with somebody who speaks boldly. And that's the only criteria she has got.
Tell us a little bit about the book that you've written.
The book is called The American Muslim Agenda, David. It is Muslims for a long time react. When some terrorist does something somewhere, all of a sudden they start praying, oh my God, let that not be a Muslim. And for that, being on Hannity's show, being with the conservatives for the last 15 years, and I got to see their point of view, what they see in Muslims. And all of that is put in this book. And then I have full guidance for Muslims. It is a roadmap, a blueprint, how Muslims can fully integrate in America, be a full part of American society where no one ever feels, well, he is Muslim or he is a white American. That difference needs to go. And when we are all one nation under God, we will see peace, prosperity, and cohesiveness built in America.
So just so I understand what you're saying that we're all Americans, and then it's okay to be obviously a Muslim American, Jewish, whatever it happens to be, African American, but you're saying ultimately it's important that America be the defining characteristic if you're living in this country.
Indeed. All the communities, if you look at the Jewish community is the first community where they brought some reform. The Christian community brought reform. Muslim communities started reforming, are seeing a larger perspective of the society than before. And I'm one of the guys putting this forward. And it's good to build that one nation under God. That way, you are David Brody and Mike Gauss. Together we are born differently, we are raised with different faiths, but we can still sit down and talk together, have meal together, travel together in a car, go to the library together, and that is what the ultimate purpose of the Muslim agenda is.
I 100% agree with you. I can say all three religions, major three world religions are represented here, Muslim, Christian, and Jewish, both. Born Jewish, faith of Christianity. Let me ask you, though, just to wrap up here, this idea of dialogue, how much of this has been a stumbling block so much? You just talked about this idea that we really need to come together. If not, we're going to be in real problem here.
David, most of the conflicts between family members, between communities, between parties is there because we go by what is delivered to us as a myth. We keep propagating that myth instead of questioning that myth. Is this true? David, what you said about me 10 years ago, is that true? They said, no, I didn't say that to you.
Right.
And when we learn that, all of a sudden, most of the differences fade and solution starts coming up. And dialogue is very critical. Even though we disagree, we need to carry a civil dialogue and learn about each other firsthand, not through different sources.
Really appreciate it. Dr. Gauss, thanks for being here.
It's good to be here, David.
All right, we'll have you back. We got to have you back.
Thank you very much.
All right, when we come back, the last sip.
America's favorite easy on, easy off energy compression socks just got better. Introducing Copperfit Energy Plus, the world's first graduated compression socks with a rich blend of ingredients found in the top moisturizing lotions and creams. These microencapsulated ingredients are infused into the compression fabric and are gradually released and absorbed by your movement. Motion-activated technology designed to hydrate and soften for all-day comfort. The more you move, the more Copperfit Energy Socks delivers.
I'm not thinking about that I have compression socks on. That simple fact that they feel better with them on than with them off makes me love these socks.
Our most advanced copper-infused compression fabric made in FDA-approved manufacturing facilities, woven into our Easy On, Easy Off graduated compression sock to help reduce swelling and discomfort from prolonged sitting or standing.
I feel that soothingness in my calves and in my ankles, but they can make my feet feel good after 300 miles on the road, and they got to be good for anybody else.
Enhanced compression around the arch and ankles for extra support and relief of muscle aches and pains. And a soft, shock-absorbing footbed for all-day comfort.
All that arch pain that I typically have is just relieved.
They are super comfortable.
They do the job. They're easy and they're effective. That's the whole point of wearing them.
Commercials always promise, promise, promise. This was something easy to try. Just put on a sock, see if it works. I have to say that I'm a fan.
The first ever Easy On, Easy Off compression socks with hydrating ingredients worn by thousands of essential workers across the U.S. Order your Energy Plus compression socks online now at GetEnergyPlus.com for only $19.99 or call 1-800-515-8892. Order right now and get a second pair free.
I get compression, I get comfort, all in one sock.
Motorcycle guys appreciate the better technology. This is better technology.
Feel the power of Copperfit.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow. Towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept.
I really love the towels. They're really great. They're super absorbent.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. The new MyPillow towels are exclusively made with 100% USA combed cotton with proprietary technology and with maximum absorbency. They dry you faster and are guaranteed to work. And listen to this. Use the promo code on your screen and Mike will include a second full towel set with bath towel, hand towel, and washcloth absolutely free. That's 2 MyPillow towel sets for the price of 1 in your choice of color.
I personally guarantee they're going to be the best towels you'll ever own.
Order now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the water cooler. All right, time now for the last sip. It's an anonymous last sip. Actually, I'm the person delivering it, so I'm not really anonymous. My name is David Brody, FYI. The water cooler with David Brody, narcissistically. But look, this guy, anonymous, Miles Taylor, that's who he is. And he was supposed to be this top administration official. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. No, I don't know who he is. I've never heard. And I cover politics, and I've never heard of Miles Taylor. He's not a top administration official. It was all kind of bogus. He wrote this book and the op-ed in the New York Times saying he's going to protect the democracy. Anyhow, Trump had a bit of fun with it. Have a look.
He wrote a phony book. Was just basically, if you heard about Anonymous, it was like somebody that was right next to me. I thought it might have been Hope Hicks. It was right. I thought it might have been Jared. I thought it might have been Mike Lee. I was worried from the great state of Utah. I was extremely worried about Rand Paul. Maybe it was Rand. This guy's a low-level lowlife that I don't know. I have no idea who he is other than I got to see him a little while ago on television. And I think they threw him out a long time ago. His phony book was just based on fake articles and left-wing outlets. He worked with listen to this, the fake news New York Times, right? And he's an employee of Google. He works for Google. Isn't that nice? Google. The people that you guys are looking at right now. The whole thing was just one more giant hoax from the Washington swamp and a corrupt special interest group.
Trump is the greatest showman. Let's be honest. Forget Hugh Jackman in that movie. No. Trump's the greatest showman. Look, where do I even begin with this anonymous thing? Let's just start with this. He's a paid contributor for CNN. All right, so you have that. You have the fact that the New York Times decided to make a big deal about this as a top administration official supposedly inside the White House. Remember, that's what it was, an inside the White House person who was trying to protect democracy. It wasn't any of that. It was a bunch of hooey. As my dad would say from about 45 years ago. It's like malarkey when Joe Biden talks about that. It's just ridiculous. And so once again, Trump is onto something. And this is why he could win next week, because folks, the voters are onto all of this. You know that the media is in cohorts or cahoots. Did I say cohorts or cahoots with the Democrats and the liberals? And it's all a big game, and Trump's exposing them all. That's what middle America thinks. And if middle America ends up voting at the polls next week in big fashion, it'll be Trump again. Back in a moment.
Do you have any idea how your mattress affects your body and how well you sleep? Is it too hard or too soft, causing you to wake up with sore shoulders, back, or hips? Are you uncomfortable because you're too hot or too cold? Now you can get the total body support you need and the better sleep you want with the new MyPillow mattress topper.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. When I invented my new MyPillow mattress topper, I made it to have everything you'd ever want in a topper. My mattress topper helps give you the support you need, helps relieve your pressure points, and regulates your body temperature for you as an individual. It comes with a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry the cover. It's made in the USA, and I back it with my 60-day money-back guarantee.
Go to MyPillow.com or call now to get your very own MyPillow mattress topper. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 30% off and 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free. Order now.
MyPillow topper delivers on its promise to give me a better night's sleep.
I can sleep all night through, and it's a miracle for me.
Mike's exclusive 3-layer design starts with a layer of MyPillow foam, providing you superior support and comfort. The second layer of transitional foam evenly distributes body weight and helps relieve uncomfortable pressure points for optimal comfort. Mike's ultra soft outer layer is a patented temperature regulating cover that helps keep you at your ideal sleeping temperature all night long. Unlike other sleep systems costing thousands, the MyPillow mattress topper takes comfort to a whole new level without any wires, remotes, or moving parts. Call now or go to MyPillow.com to order your MyPillow topper. Use the promo code to save 30%. When you do, Mike will give you 2 of his standard MyPillows absolutely free. That's right, 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off your MyPillow topper today. Order now.
I personally guarantee it's going to change your bed into the most comfortable bed you'll ever own.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll. Whether for yourself or someone you love, call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Welcome back to the water cooler. All right, it's the end of the show. So why don't we talk about what's on justthenews.com and all that stuff. Sophie Mann is with us from justthenews.com. Sophie, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So Michigan, talk to me. Here's what I'm hearing. Open carry, Michigan polls election. That feels like a recipe for disaster.
Indeed. Although, we'll see what happens.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, basically, we've been seeing a slew of lawsuits and decisions coming down from state judges about, election business. Most of it has had to do with ballots and mail-in ballots. In Michigan, of course, they're a little bit different up there. This one is about whether or not you can take your gun to the polls. So you have Michigan, you have Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer and her Secretary of State, a woman named Jocelyn Benson, who in mid-October just sent down a rule throughout the state saying that you cannot open carry. The state has open carry laws, but she said you cannot open carry your weapon to a polling location or anywhere where ballots are being counted. So who knows exactly how big of an issue that would have been regardless. But earlier this week, Judge Christopher Murray, who's a circuit court judge in Michigan, said that this was not allowed. It had been the rule had been executed incorrectly. Like there's a way to institute it correctly, but as seemingly what happens so often with the Whitmer administration, it was instituted a little bit lazily, a little bit without regard for the actual infrastructure of the rule of law and how it exactly. And so he's saying you in fact can now open carry if you would like to. The Michigan Attorney General has appealed the decision. She appealed it Wednesday, so we'll see what happens. I mean, again, this is a little bit different than some of the cases we've been seeing about actually counting ballots and whatnot, but it does just continue to stoke those Democratic, Republican tensions in a state that already is going to be a controversial one on the 3rd.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not sure look, Second Amendment, knock yourself out. But,
yeah.
I mean, open carry. But it is an open carry state.
Yeah.
So, they can do what they want.
So same as everywhere else. I mean, it's interesting because I think what the Attorney General and Secretary of State were worried about is voter intimidation tactics. If I go to the polls with you with my gun in your back and say vote for whomever, and the judge said basically that's not what's going to happen. These are already the rules of our state. You can't treat polling places like anywhere else. Almost to put this rule in place is to acknowledge and stoke these tensions, which is not what we want to do.
Yeah, no, don't want to put the gun in the back of a voter. That's probably not a great thing. That'd be, let me think, a felony.
Right. No, to be clear, we're not encouraging that.
All right. Thanks, Sophie. On the show tomorrow, Diamond and Silk. They usually have something to say. See you tomorrow.
Stay tuned to get a free pan from Granite Stone. Stuck on eggs, burnt on batter. You can scrub and scrape, but you can't escape the nightmare of your sticky pans. Introducing the Granite Stone Pan, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Watch, we melted down these sticky candies in Granite Stone, and it just doesn't stick. We cooked a half a dozen eggs, bacon, cheese, and tomato breakfast with no butter or oil, and it just doesn't stick. Look, caramels, chocolate, and cheese. Unreal for any other pan, but not for Granite Stone. It just doesn't stick. Granite Stone will be the last pan you'll ever need because it's pressed from a solid aluminum disc for even heat conduction, then coated 3 times with our durable Granite Stone finish. Granite Stone is metal utensil safe and won't scratch. And talk about non-stick. This salmon cooked skin side down with no added butter or oil just doesn't stick. This steak is perfectly seared just like the pros. And because Granite Stone is oven rated to 500 degrees, we bake this upside down pan pizza to perfection, and it just doesn't stick. Fire Flambe Delicious Cherries Jubilee. Plus it's PFOA free